All righty. Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Welcome.
Welcome to our second episode. So we are definitely still working out everything over here on our side. So glad you guys are here with us. That if, for those of you who don't know, I am Ti the Kid. Welcome to Sisters Talking to NFTs. You'll see my sister, and I always say the same thing. We are like really, really sisters. So just so you can go ahead and say who you are if you like, sis.
Yes, I'm Jessica Richardson. Happy and excited that you guys can join us today. Hopefully, give you guys some more knowledge on some of these NFTs that we're invested in. So glad you can be here.
Yeah. So again, we'll do what we normally do. And like I said, some of you guys are new with us, and so you guys probably may not have seen us before. But normally, what we do on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. is normally we'll come over and talk about some of the different plays and stuff that we've been in for the week, and then we'll even talk about some of the different projects that we're currently looking at getting invested in. And so, if you guys would like, definitely, again, we're actually on we're on YouTube and we're now on Twitch and we're actually doing live on Facebook too. So we are growing, but we're excited about growing. And so, just bear with us as far as, sometimes you may see that sometimes our technical difficulty, we may have technical difficulty. Oh, well, we'll just keep working through it and keep the ball rolling. So again, we're excited that you guys are here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and then we'll get started. Feel free. Also, I wanted to say one thing, just a couple things. As far as we do come on 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on Tuesdays, and also again at 6 o'clock on 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So feel free to hop in with us if you have any family members or anything who are new to the NFT space, who are trying to get involved. We're trying to reach a lot of people because I know there are a lot of us that are making a lot of good money. I'm in a group. We are like making a lot of us are doing very, very well with the NFT space, but we're trying to get more of our family members involved. And so that was kind of the reason why we kind of got this thing started. Was we were like, well, hey, you know what? My family keep talking about they want to get involved with this. They keep saying they want to do it. So now here's their opportunity. So again, we'll be coming on the classes that we'll do on most of the time on 6 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those will be more of the things as far as where we're trying to do some things with people who are beginners, of giving them a better understanding of how to what NFTs are. Because like I said, a lot of us are advanced in knowing what NFTs are, but there's a lot of people who have no idea what an NFT is, and so it can definitely be one of those scenarios as far as getting them involved early, because it still is early. And I'll say this also because I know I'm talking a little bit, but I'll say this also. Just understand, crypto is a different beast in itself. NFTs are a different beast in itself. It's something that's new. As far as there's going to be ups and there's going to be down within the space, and so for what we're going to definitely try to do is share with you guys not just the upside of what NFT space is, but even today on some of the articles and stuff that you're going to see that are being posted on Twitter and so forth. You're going to see that there are some downs. You're going to see that there are some people who are definitely out there to try to scam you and to try to take your money. If they can take your money, they're going to take your money. So I think as far as, especially if you're going to try to get your family members involved with some of these things, make sure they're getting the right education. Make sure you're taking the time to work with them, and making sure they're protecting their assets as much as possible. 'Cause, I mean, I'll tell you, even as some of us who've been here for a while, still there you still run the risk of being scammed. I mean, it's just they come with new stuff every single time. So if criminal, you like, dog, if you're a criminal, man, why don't you put that energy on something good? You could be making a lot. They're like, no, they're gonna go for the easy money. So again, once again, welcome. Glad you guys are here with us. And so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen. So if you see me looking to the side, I got multiple screens. That's the only reason why I'm looking to the side. All right. So, and if you have questions, please feel free to ask your questions. Whether it's on Twitch or YouTube or whatever platform you're on, we can try to see some of those questions. We may not be able to respond to everybody's question. Just understand that sometimes we have like multiple people who are on with us, and so we can't like just go look at just your portfolio, what's going on. Sometimes if we have time, we can try to do those things, but otherwise it's like, okay, we're trying to benefit the whole community of within the NFT space. So we may not try to ignore your questions or anything like that, but we definitely will try to get to some of your things. See somebody's stuff. Okay. All right. So first thing, let's get started. First, I want to talk about a little bit as far as was with on Twitter. A couple things Ian had tweeted about, and I'll tell you, there's some things as far as that are out there that are really, really, it's a sad side of crypto. But that you'll find many times, and not many times, but sometimes you're going to find that there's going to be some rug pulls, meaning that it's for my new people, meaning that you got into a project, thought it was going to go to the moon, it was doing so fantastic, and then all of a sudden there's like 200 Ethereum that's been stolen from a particular project. 200 Ethereum is not cheap. You're talking about Ethereum. I know Ethereum dropped down to 3,000 and went back up to 34 or something. I haven't looked at the price anymore since that. But yesterday it was almost at $4,000. This weekend it was $4,000. So do the math. That's a lot of money when you're talking about $4,000 times 200, $800,000. Is that $800,000 that you're talking about someone taking and going somewhere else with? Okay, there is no recovery within the NFT space as far as, or in the crypto space as far as saying, hey, call the police and maybe they can give you your money back. It ain't happening.
Not,
It's just not going to happen. So again, try to do some research on the projects. I have not been buying as many projects as I've recently. I mean, some time ago I was buying like pretty much a lot of stuff. Lately, I have kind of slowed down. Jessica and we both have kind of slowed down on buying certain projects, especially some of the the new ones that have been popping up. And it's not anything against those projects. It's just a matter for me. I'm trying to get into not as many projects, but trying to get into some solid projects
yes.
because there is opportunity, as far as being able to go on there and there is opportunity of going on and doing some flipping on some projects. I don't have a problem with if that's your game plan and you come on and you flip some of the NFT stuff. I think it is a fantastic hustle, and it's more than a hustle. Because
That's
I've
right.
literally just I think there's time when we see stuff, we'd be like, "Well, dog, somebody just bought that at this price, and they're already selling for an additional ETH, which is additional
Yes.
$4,000." You're talking about sometime within hours. And
Hours.
so, but at the same time, as fast as some of those projects can go up, they can definitely go down. So again, be on the lookout as far as some of these projects that are coming out that you're looking to get into. Do some research. Don't just jump into everything. Do some research on what you're trying to get into before you're investing money. I don't care who you are or who you know. You try to get good at doing your own research so that if you do lose your money, you'll be like, okay, it was my fault. I lost the money because I lost some money before. I am not that person. Be like, well, oh, I won all of my stuff. No,
Mm.
no, we got into some stuff that will officially forever be in my wallet. Okay, so just understand that. Okay. The next thing, here's another one that came out. Another, like I said, I'm trying to give you the bad side and the good side. So I'm not trying to start on a bad note, but this is actually was tweeted, and I know Nick and I were talking about this a little bit earlier about these photographs. There's been a couple things as far as, and I was literally telling my son the other day because there was a project that came out, and I think it was some artwork or something we were looking at buying, and I could see it. It was like, okay, someone had came in and they were like buying it at point. It was like they came bought like all of these at point one, and I was like, man. So I started going back and looking at the name of who was buying them, and I was like, well, that's weird. Why did they buy all of those at? It might have even been higher. I think it was even higher than that. But yeah, it was they bought it higher, but then they came back and they started selling it lower, and I was like, nah, Miles, we ain't getting that project. I
Mhm.
said that's probably a scam. I said if they're buying it at 0.25 and they're coming and putting it back for point 0.1, that's a sign. But sometimes what'll happen to us when we're in the NFT space is that you get so excited because you see something that's moving super, super fast, and you're like, oh man, everybody's buying this, everybody's buying it right now. Okay, but you need to see who's really buying it. If it's the same person that's buying that particular item and selling that particular item, it's it's a scam. It literally is. And so if you look at this one, this was in that tweet on Twitter. As far as you look at the same name. This was the same name coming through. And I understand when the drop happens. So get this part. When the drop happens, normally whoever's put it out there, it's going to have that particular person's name on it because they minted that particular project and so forth. But when you get the same people who are going in and buying these doggone projects, one after the top after another, so they came in and bought this big bundle at 6 point was this a little over 10.3 ETH is what they looks like what they Aon came on and purchased. But you see, they came on. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they came in and made another $4,000 or $5,000 easy off this particular project simply by doing the flip, by coming in. They pretended, I guess, to buy all of these different things, and then went right back in and sold those things. So pay attention to those things. Not telling you to say, hey, there's just gonna there's gloom and doom on all these things. But again, they showed another one, same scenario where you see the same number is coming in and buying some of these things, and at the end they're making a lot of money. So don't get hung up on trying to jump into everything. Just don't do it. I promise you, it's going to hurt, especially when you're getting in and you're buying some of these things. Because literally 2.8 ETH is literally, or if you go three, that's when it were 4,000, that's $12,000. Someone could potentially lose by trying to get in on that train to try to run it up. Okay, so if you are flipping, keep flipping. Have no problem with you flipping, but just be very careful, as far as what you're doing on that particular thing. So again, this was another thing that was done on Twitter. Like I said, if you wanted to come look at this particular feed, you definitely can. It's one of those ones I think is very interesting. Okay, I'm doing a lot of talking too. All right, another quick thing, Jessica. I'm gonna let you talk too.
Oh no, keep going.
Okay, all right, okay. The other one was as far as Steph Curry. I know everybody's like, oh my God, but we talked about it last week. Him going out and buying the Board Ape. That's been huge. Okay, Steph Curry has now. If you saw his tweet yesterday, he says just getting started in the crypto game. Y'all got any advice? So, I'm telling you, there are a lot of people who are starting to get involved with crypto. They see the money, they see the potential. When they can come over here and they can start and he start tweeting this kind of questions, I'm like, okay, I know you in the Bay Area, the Silicon Valley area, with all the crypto people and all the people over there. What y'all doing? So I'm like, what coins you getting in, Steph? That's what I'm looking for. What coins you getting into? But again, I think it's going to be important, as you start looking at some of these things of how many of these professional athletes are starting to get a better understanding of, hey, there's money to be made in these crypto space. There's money to be made. They're not just doing these things just to volunteer. Trust me, they have money. So if you see the rich people who are still investing in this stuff, I think we need to start paying attention. I'm not saying that you can come in and you can go and buy a Board Ape, but I'm saying that's where you get good at going in and doing your research on finding a very good project that you can invest in and say, hey, you know what? I can't buy that Board Ape, but who's the Board Ape cousin or sisters or somebody who related to the Board Ape, who's connected to the Board Ape some kind of way, and what do they have to offer at this point that you may be able to get involved in. And so again, that's that. Okay, so again, pay attention to the things that people are tweeting out. Okay, and then next thing, Jessica, you want to talk about the Nifty Gateway? A couple things. I think this
Oh
is
yes, so a lot of us have been, or if you're going to start investing in art, the artists do come on Nifty Gateway and release their art. So we've been used to different processes. Nifty has started a new process now, as you can see. She's currently in the offers receive tab. So currently, you can receive different payments in like card, prepaid ETH, or even by balance. The new policy that Nifty has started is that if you receive payment by card, it will automatically have to go to your bank account. There is no choice in the matter. So even if you accept some of these offers, as you see, some say card, some are going to say prepaid ETH. If she scrolls down a little bit further, you will have the option to select the offer. But now the policy has changed that if you accept a card payment, it's going to automatically go into your bank account. There also is a hold to that, or a waiting period. So if you're expecting to get your money quickly, or you be able to withdraw it to USDT or to Ethereum, you will not have that option no longer. There are some ways around that, like you can withdraw your Nifty, of course, to your personal wallet and sell it on the secondary market like OpenSea. But even if you list your Nifty currently on OpenSea, I'm sorry, on what are we on? Nifty Gateway, sorry, then you won't have that option to what kind of payment someone will give you an offer in. So for a lot of people, that's very important. A lot of people may not want things to go to their bank account. They may actually want things to go to Ethereum, or they may want to sell it on a secondary market like OpenSea. So you're going to want to pay attention to that when you're now accepting offers. And also when you're going to list the item that you're going to want on Nifty for sale, you will not be able to change if you can accept the payment in card or prepaid ETH. So I think those are some things that are very important to pay attention to now. A lot of people may have several Nifties on here. Some may have, are you just going to be starting to get involved with buying Nifties? Or, art NFTs. But you're going to want to pay attention to those things if you do want to choose where your where your money or funds do get withdrawn to.
That's a good point. And I think too, I think it's important too when you're looking at some of the offers too. Make sure you're not just coming in here and accepting offers just to be accepting offers. I mean, I understand if you need ETH or so forth, but always make sure you're coming on here and you're checking their actual price. Because what this was made 2 days ago for the offer is for $4,300. Well, offer price was $5,100 by the time Nifty takes their price. I always make sure I go back to to this particular artist and see what the actual price is currently going for, and let's see if they're going to let me go to that. So that way, meaning that was that art number 3. I missed which one I just clicked off of.
Well, it still show you.
Okay, I think it was this one. I think it was this one here. So we had an offer of 5,100, but if you come over here and look at the lowest price, just always remember the lowest price right now is $7,000. So you can get hasty as far as going in there and say, well, hey, you know what, I'm going to accept this $5,000 offer. You're like, well, yeah, I got an offer for $5,000, but you really just lost $2,000 if you accept that offer by not come over here and doing the extra step to see exactly what the current floor price is. Now, I understand if the market's not moving and you're like, well, hey, I really need it like fast. Okay, that's understandable. That's fine. Do what you need to do, but at the same time, don't undercut what you should be able to get for your profits just because you're trying to be hasty on buying things, or I mean on selling things. Okay, so very very important. Okay, so that's very very good important. So make sure if you haven't done it, make sure you get your Stripe account set up on Nifty Gateway. That way, in case you do have the time, if in case that way, in case you do get an offer, you get money. It's already your Stripe is already set up. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. Okay.
And just
Next thing.
also to add to that, make sure they're setting up the two-step authentication on their Nifties for their assets to make sure they're protecting themselves. So if you're going to sign up for Nifty, or if you currently have a Nifty Gateway account, make sure you are doing two-step authentication on that to protect your assets.
Absolutely. Thank you. Okay. Okay, the next thing, as far as I know, some of us have already invested into the Degen Apes. If you are still doing the Degen Apes, they have still been moving. I'm like, okay, they've been fluctuating between 80 something and 100 and something, depending on which ones you have. Very important. Make sure you're going on and you're checking your traits. It is going to be important as far as the cost you're getting, because again, it's one of those scenarios where if you have one of the Degen Apes, and let's say you have one that has 5 traits or you have one that has 7 traits, go on and make sure you're getting the right price, because the floor price could be 83 sold tokens, which I think are at like 190 a token right now. So it's about a 14. I think it's the last time I checked, they're about 14 or 15,000, about $14,000 is it was a floor price on these Degen Apes. Remember, the Degen Apes only cost you a couple $100. Okay, so again, check out the doggone prices. If especially if you have one that's more rare and you have more traits, that means your floor price, instead of it being at 83, should possibly probably start out at 100 soul tokens. Okay, meaning you just got a bump up in price. So don't get hasty of just saying this, I'm going to sell super rare. If you want to just come, even on the Degen Ape Academy site, if you want to come to the rare and just see what the different hats, that at least give you an idea as far as, okay, does any of the Degen Apes that I have any of these particular hats? Okay, no, maybe don't have that one. Maybe you can go to super rare and see on the super rare, does yours have any of these that look like it? Okay, that at least will give you an idea. The further you go down on this chart, that pretty much means the more money your ape is probably going to be worth. Okay, so again, all common are going to be your basic common ones. Mystic is going to be like, okay, name your price. So hopefully some of y'all got a mystic. I didn't get a mystic, but I got a pretty good one. Okay. 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 So that's that. So make sure you're definitely checking that. And then, just keep track. Another thing I always is important, especially when you're dealing with crypto, because sometimes I think we get hung up of like, well, man, my Degen Ape is now worth, let's say if it's 78 soul tokens. You also have to take into account how much soul is at the current price, because sometimes the same 78 soul tokens could still be equivalent to the soul price of 150. But if soul has gone up another $40, you got to take that into consideration, that hey, you still have a bump up. You may be selling for less for less soul tokens, but it still also could possibly be more money because the price of soul has gone up if you bought these. Okay, that's good stuff. Okay, so that's that. All right, the next one. I think some of us have been talking about that. I know Deshaun had talked about this too. The NFL. Okay, I'll tell you, and I know some people have been posting on this. NFL is trying to like bar these different teams and different things from doing the NFT space. I Okay, so this is my thoughts. Yeah, okay, they can try to do these things, and they probably will put some stipulations on some of these things that are out there. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what you want to do. But remember, they put this out on the third. But remember, Tom Brady already had autograph.io. So I really think that they can put it out, but it really is going to depend on who you are, on if they're really going to stop or implement this, because Tom Brady and them, these things have not stopped selling over here on the market on the DraftKings site. I mean, if you come look at down here what some of Tom Brady's items are now still selling for, over here, Tom is they not playing with Tom. So I don't think Tom's hurting for money. I think that they can definitely try to put some stipulations, but I think it might be a little too late for some of these people to try to get. their say so and what they're doing, yeah, you can say it. But at the same time, I think a lot of these athletes have started seeing that there's money to be made, and why can't they get their own money? And so, unless they can figure out some system of how they're going to tie these things together or how they're going to do these things, I think people are still going to continue. These athletes are going to continue to try to do these things in regards to trying to make their own money off of their own NFTs. Okay, so going to be very important. If you have not picked up some of these things, really, that I know the Tom Brady thing sold out like super super fast. If you didn't pick up some of these things, hey, you could still definitely come back up. Wasn't it over here, huh, Jessica? I could come over here and click the Tom Brady's. So we won't have to look at the expensive Tom Brady's. We can come see the ones that are 765. You can click on those, and you can still just come over here if you wanted to buy. There was 232 of these for sale. You can still come over here and select and buy. You're still gonna pay. So if people are not volunteering and buying these things for like $50 or $100 and gonna sell it, sometimes you can find the floor price. So if they're not selling, you can definitely find the floor price. But most people again are not. If they, I don't remember what this card was for. If it was $250, they're not gonna come over here and sell it for $250. They're like, no, I'm gonna double my money and make some extra money on top of that. So
Okay.
just understand that that's just part of the game. So again, this is one of those sites again as far as some of the marketplaces. Feel free to come back in here through their browse tab and try to buy some of these different items if you need to pick up some of these items. I'll be honest, I have not. My sister has been able to grab some of these. Every time I've tried, I haven't been able to get the ones I wanted to get. And so I will probably have to come back into the markets tab myself and buy some of these, and knowing that I'm got to pay some additional fees.
No.
Okay. Alrighty. So that's that. Okay. All right. The next one, Jessica, you want to talk about this one here?
Oh yeah, so Bisky is doing a lot with college athletes and being able to allow them to sell their NFTs. Some of these may be a risk, but you also have to think of it as a collectible. If you're able to get some of these players in their like college years and they still go to the draft, that collectible is generally a lot more money or valuable. So Bisky is doing a lot of different drops now with athletes or star athletes that may be expected to come out and do really good into the professional fields. And so this one did happen a couple of days ago, but if you keep an eye on it, you'll be able to find some drops that are at a reasonable price that you can just pick up one of these if it's maybe an athlete that you know about or a college player that you're actually currently following. And so pay attention to Candy. They do still have an auction portion of this that is going on, but I'm not sure if it cost is in that. But as price is generally very reasonable, some of them will have the additions that are signed, other items that you maybe in the Discord, a private item. I don't believe this specific one did, but as you can tell, it does say specifically in here what the addition is. It's going to be through the Epic series, and so you receive an experience or a physical item from the player. So this one did have the utility behind it. If you did purchase this item, or if you do win this auction, you're going to receive that item, a one of one edition. So different editions will have different things that it gives you. Some may just be a specific NFT, and it's going to be a collectible. Generally, all of them do come with a count of how many are going to be able to be sold. So that gives it also a scarcity side to it. So if you do want to, or if you're into a lot of different college sports, you do want to pay attention to this site here. Currently, you'll see a lot of different athletes coming out and releasing their drops on here. You'll even see some like WE. I believe I forgot his name. I can't even think of his name right now. I shouldn't even brought it up, but yeah,
Got all them names in your head. You be like, oh, well,
but
I'm trying to remember a site and be like, oh
yeah,
Lord, what's that site
yes,
name?
what's the name? So yeah, pay attention to Bisky. They'll have different drops here, and you'll be able to pick up some collectibles earlier in times, and generally that you're able to get those if you normally think about professional cards and things like that. So
I did see someone was talking about Derek Jeter too was going to be doing a drop too. I think that must have been on the end of the draft one. And
that's
so
right.
they are definitely dropping some big name people. So if you can participate in some of their drops, so here it is that someone put that in the chat about Derek Jeter. This is going to be one that's going to be dropped. There's one at 12, 1, 2, and 3, and so forth. So depending on which price range you want to come on at, you can definitely try to participate. And I will tell you, most of these things if you are new to the NFT space, you're gonna find out a lot of them sell out. You're gonna be like, okay, I missed that one. You're gonna have to go on to the next one. And you're gonna be like, but I had it right there in my wallet, and it showed that I had verified. And they're gonna be like, well, you didn't get it. and there's nobody to protest to besides just going on a rant on Facebook, and it don't help because you're still not gonna get the item. Okay, so you might well get over that and go ahead and go try to find it on the secondary market and try to buy your item because it's not going to happen if you just by protesting. I promise you.
And to add to that, don't just think about price in that, because even on the $12 ones, it's the first of their kind. Even if it didn't have a signed autograph to it, you can think of it as a collectible. It may be $12, but there still should be some value to that because it is the first one. And as you do see, some counts have 5,000, some have 2,500, and the series at NFT does go lower. So even just starting off with one of the $12 just to get access to the Discord, the experience, and just to see be part of it, the process with it is very doable for the $12 and on. So pay attention to that as well.
Good starting point. Good starting point if you're new to the space. Okay, good stuff. Thank you. Okay, all right. So we talked about candy. All right, Jessica, I'll let you talk about this one too.
Oh
You got
yes. So some people may not be familiar with God's Unchained. It's going to be a play to earn game. So different cards. You were able to come in and buy chests and packs. They are coming out with another drop. It's going to be the Divine Order. They have not announced a drop date to that, but as you do see, it's going to say it's going to be free to play, and there's going to be a percent off or 20% off for a limited time. So some of the God's Unchained cards already been sold. What slowed it down a lot was that the Ethereum, the gas prices, a lot of people that are already purchasing on Ethereum know about that. So they do have immutable now that you are able to come over into, and you don't pay nearly the amount of gas. It's like, I can't even say the percent of that you will pay over here. So even with speaking of that, if you come to immutable, you're also able to pick up some of the older cards that are also rare. So if you're familiar with that or have any experience with immutable or even just with your wallets, you can come into the Gods Unchained website. You're going to log in there and you're going to be able to connect your wallet to this immutable link. So if you already have some of these cards, if you go ahead and log into the Gods Unchained site, you'll be able to just link your wallet. And at that point, all your cards will be transferred over to the immutable or linked to the immutable network where you can buy or sell them at the for the same price. So yeah, this is a regular. This
Yeah.
is what it originally started off with. So as you can tell, a lot of the graphics are really good. A lot of the projects that have been out for some time, I have put a lot of money and just resource into their project. So just thinking that it has slowed down. A lot of people have invested into it, but that they want to fix that with this immutable, and that's only been out with them for maybe a little over a month now. So that new card pack that is going to be coming out, if you want to get invested in some NFTs and play to earn games. Maybe if you don't want to play them, just the cards themselves, depending on the rarity you do get, will be valuable. So just look into that if you're someone that's into games or even as an investment. Just check out the market. You can see over here what they're saying has been spent in the game already. These were some of the packs that were dropped on the first round. So maybe this will give you we can't say the prices are going to be the same guaranteed, but it does give you a general idea of what the prices are on these previous drops. And as you can tell, each pack will have a different rarity that you'll be able to maybe possibly get from it. And so you just paying attention to that. Like I say, it's a shadow. Your option maybe get a gold or diamond legendary card, which of course they have more resale value. And to also know the importance of some of these games is because you own these assets, you own them, so you can go back and resell them. You can play with them and generally upgrade them, and sometimes also get a higher value with those. Like unlike a lot of different games that we're currently playing, a lot of games you can go into and you don't own the asset. You pay for Fortnite skins, you can do nothing with them. So this Gods Unchained is another going to be an NFT chess project, or they have chess that you can purchase. Um, so the Divine Order, as I said, that one's going to be coming out. There is no expected drop date yet, but just keep an eye on that. And if you do like games or trading card games, go ahead and research that project yourself.
Thank you. I said because most people probably would recognize these chests because when we were buying these originally, these are what the chests look like,
That's right.
and that was some months ago. So go back and check some of y'all wallets because you might still have some of these chests in there. But again, I think it is definitely because if you do it on the Ethereum, it's definitely going to try to charge you a fee to open it. So like she was saying, make sure you're trying to go over to the immutable chain and get those opened up. It'll be a whole lot cheaper to do that. Okay. All right. And actually, they have the little open packs tab up here too, so you can definitely do that. All right. Thanks. Okay. The next one, and I put this out a little earlier. This one, like I said, and do a little bit of research on this one because this one is going to be, I think it's going to be dealing with the jazz as far as having an experience. So again, I know we're a lot of us have been talking about the NFT space and how some of these different artists or some of these different teams are trying to create experiences for you within the crypto space. So again, here's another one that the jazz are now trying to do. So something about you get to come into the locker room, not necessarily come into the locker room, but as I said, do some research, do some reading on this one. I think these things might end up being okay. I did buy one. I'm going to buy one just because I just don't want to miss the opportunity just in case. But again, they do have a couple levels on this particular thing. So hopefully you guys got some of those when I put the alert out earlier this morning. Like I said, to do a little bit of research on these because, like I said, sometimes these things can happen so fast. Like I said, I may be going and reading an article and something, or just going to be reading an article, but like, oh wow, look at that. And so it could be like, oh, it's dropping like right now, or someone will put an alert out on Twitter that hey, this just dropped. So sometimes as soon as if I see something, I'll be like, okay, this seems interesting. Go ahead and you can definitely go in and take a look at it, and see if it's something again that you want to get invested in. Because again, I think as some of these teams, and like I said, I know we've talked about the NBA Top Shot, as some of these teams are trying to get people in the stands, not necessarily get people in the stands, but get people more active and give them something to do. These experiences may end up being worth something. Because, like I said, if somebody who might be a Utah Jazz fan or something, and it's something that I may not be able to make, I'm hoping there's going to be a market to where I can go like sell this experience to them that they really, really, really might really, really want. So that's my hopes. I always got that hopes and thoughts of trying to figure out something ahead of time of just in case they might not have thought of that. I was already thinking of that for them. But that again, that's one of those things. Again, as far as like if you want to start collecting these, you can definitely come on here and look at some of these things that they have available. They're unwearable. So again, do some research on that. It's one of those things. Like I said, it could be a riskier play. Do some research on it for yourself and find out if it's something that you even want to get invested in.
And to add to that, because they are trying to stay a little advanced with some of the technology, they are trying to make it a VR experience. And so I know a lot of people may not know right now because maybe a lot of people don't have Oculus goggles or Oculus in their home or PlayStation VR. But now that technology and stuff is like that, it's getting built out and 5G is here. A lot of these things are now possible for these companies. And so, like she did say, the NBA Top Shot, with watching that, the teams are now trying to get involved with that. And so, having some of these experiences, knowing that other people will also be wanting to pay for that experience, not even if you do, but having that limited quantity and other people like that are super fans of the NBA teams that don't even know about this market is a real advantage right now because that's the key. Nobody really knows about it, what's going on with the NFT industry, so they don't understand it. But right now, if you're here, you're kind of getting a understanding that even the experience will be very valuable to someone if it's not you. And if you can afford it and you kind of understand it after you've done the research, go ahead and get one if you think that that's something that you do want to invest in.
Stuff. Great. Okay, and then just I'll let you talk about this one because this is another new one
Oh, yeah, this is another drop that's happening today. It's most of these will always have like a 10,000 count or even less series in them. They do have a pretty good Discord following in Twitter. I have to still do some research into them. I found out about them yesterday a little bit. So I would definitely say the drop is today. Generally, if you do come to these sites, they'll have a roadmap. If you do like what they're going to offer or some of the things that's going to be provided by the community or to the community, I would definitely say you can invest in it. Most things that have a count, if the project is good, will be valuable. Just because we're thinking so small, there's only so many people involved right now. So 10,000 may seem like a lot, but it's in overall, it is not. So this is when I did find, like I say, you still want to do some research in it. I have not got to look into it quite a bit. It's going to be a drop that's happening today at 2. They did have a very good community size and people in it as well, which is something that I look for in projects, making sure people are going to be there to want to invest in the project and stay in the project. So definitely you can check that one out, see if it's something that you're interested in. And that was just one of the drops that was going to be happening today.
Good stuff. And they're going to be 0.06.
Okay.
0.06. Okay, so that'll be the price for this drop today. All right. Okay, and just I'll let you talk about this one too.
Oh yeah. So most people I know Akon had tweeted about this one yesterday. But this drop is going to be one of the first poker game experiences. It is going to have some very, very good graphics because what they're building out on. So as you can tell here, some of the cards will be rare. They're all going to have their different rarity. Um, they're building out on iOS, Android, Windows, so just about every platform, which is very good for you. You know, you want to make sure that those cards will be accessible to a lot of different people. So with these cards, that you can also see they're going to have a token, a PKR token, which you'll be able to stake to get those NFTs. So a lot of times when you look at products, you want to look at the graphics, you want to look at who's involved, you want to look at the technology that they're using, if they're advanced. And this project is going to be actually one of those that is using the most up-to-date technology with 3D experience. And like I say, if you're looking for projects that are going to be accessible to all people, sometimes they're starting out on computers and they're going to iOS devices and things like that. On this one's roadmap, it is letting you know it's planning on being just about on every device possible. So these are going to be some cards. It is a poker game if you are interested in that type of gameplay. So I know there's a lot of different things coming out, and a lot of different people like different games. This is one of those games that I think is a very you should definitely take the time to do your research in and see if you want to invest in it. But like I said, graphically and everything, and what they're building now, it is definitely a good NFT project to look into.
Yeah, good stuff. Now I'm not a poker player, so let's be real clear. So I couldn't tell y'all nothing on this project, but I know there are other people who know poker, and so again, just because I'm not and I don't invest in them does not mean that there's not going to be some money for other people who invest in them. So they do have a lot of, like you said, some of their cards and stuff definitely look like they have some good graphics and so forth. Okay, are good stuff. Okay, all right. A couple things again. I know we've talked about this again last week. Okay, 0-1 Force has, I think they finally might have hit the bottom where they've been at the 0.19 and point. I think I've even seen them at 0.18 even earlier this week. Again, I think it's important as far as if you're still looking at this project. I'm still invested in this project. I got in I'm still fine from when I got in on this project. If you got in later, this is going to be your point where you're still going to be need to pay attention to this particular project to figure out, okay, is it something that still can continue to go up, or is it one of those ones that may end up going back down even further? So do some continue to look at their Discord. Their Discord seems like it's still still up and moving. So that's why for me I haven't like, hey, I need to go ahead and sell right now. I haven't gotten that vibe just yet. So again, if I and honestly, in all honesty, I think if this dropped down, if the Discord still stays the way it is and it dropped down, I probably would look to try to buy some more that are a little bit more rare. That's just me. Okay, so that's one of the preference that I have. I have several of these, so I would either try to get another. Well, actually, let me take it back. I probably would either buy some more off of the floor price. That way, I know I'm not going to be super high in on this particular project. So if I bought something off the floor price, I know that hey, if it goes down a little further, I'm not going to lose a lot. So hypothetically, so my new people, what I'm saying, this current price is 1.9. That's the lowest one that's available. So that's about $6,400. So I would end up, if I were going to buy one, I would be buying one at the floor price, at the $6,400 price. I wouldn't be going on here, me personally, at this point, because this has dropped down. I wouldn't be coming up here and trying to find something that's over here in the um, twos, or let's see if I can find a little higher. I wouldn't even necessarily be even coming over here trying to buy some for 2.35, because like it's almost $8,000. So there's about $2,000 of difference. So I'd rather play it on the safe side and buy something again off of the floor price, which is going to be whatever the lowest current price is. That's what if I'm going to be looking to buy into this project, this is where I'd be looking to buy, somewhere in this price range here, into this 1.9. All right, so that's just keep an eye on this project. I still think, like again, if people were coming on here and they were buying these things at $600,000, $500,000 when these things drop, I don't think they're willing to lose like $600,000. Okay, so it's going to take a lot for that particular project to continue just to look like, hey, we've given up on that project. The big boys is not going to just like let their money just disappear like that. So again, just pay attention to this particular project. Okay, I know Jamar had put this out. Some I think on one of the calls that I was on within our group. One of the things they talked about was the Afro droids. So make sure you're continuing to watch the Afro droids. I did buy some of the Afro droids. I bought a couple of Afro droids. I know some other people have bought some of these. So keep an eye on as far as the pricing. I know the pricing has gone down some. It's hey, every project's gonna it starts off new. Okay, so again, I think because of what they're trying to do with the Afro droids, and I've tried to read a little bit on their Discord and so forth. as far as what they're trying to do, as far as donations and so forth for the different for where they're donating to the nonprofits. I think that sometimes can definitely help a lot of these NFT spaces. When you have a great cause that you're trying to do some work for, people will pay attention to that. People will try to stick with your project as long as you're continuing to move forward and you're continuing to do things within your project. Then that gives you a great opportunity to make that project continue to work. So again, make sure that you're definitely looking out for this project. If you have not invested in this project, like I said, the price is lower right now. It's not a bad time to try to buy the floor. I'm not going to tell you again to come in here and try to buy something that's higher price. You come in and you buy the floor. So at least if you're at the bottom again. If there's more upside potential than downside. So again, try to come in here. Like I said, I'm not going to go over as far as trying to find ones that are rare, super rare. I do have a tab up here because for the Afro Droids, because I missed out on these bad boys, and these are like the one of ones. Okay, and I think we talked about this last week. I think I did. Okay, when you are new to the NFT space, you have to know what you are selling. It is like the number one rule. You have to know what you're selling. If you're on here and you're like, "Hey, I'm selling this," these are like one of one. They're like there's only one of these. There's no more. The price of these simply means that these are going to be worth a lot more money, a lot more money. And some people were coming on here and they were selling them like for half a ETH, which was like maybe $2,000 at the time. As soon as they sold them, guess what? Somebody put it up for like 30 ETH or 10 ETH. It's a sickening feeling when you see that much money walk away from you and you were excited about getting the $2,000, and it's now currently at $10,000 or $20,000. So again, some of these floor prices on some of these, they have definitely gone up. This one is at 10 ETH. Okay, they currently have an offer for $15,000 that they could literally come on here and just click right now and take as an offer. This person, so someone sold this 6 days ago. Ooh, yeah, that's sickening. So someone bought it at the 0.098.
That's ridiculous.
Someone sold it at 0.78. So
and now someone has an offer of 4.5.
That's sickening.
That's horrible.
So my new people, so what you don't understand is like they sold it for probably like I said, like $2,000 six days ago. 6 days ago. All right. Then did someone sell it for 3 and 6 days ago? So someone looked like someone bought it for points for 7, 8. Then there's another sale for 3 ETH, so they were happy for the 3 ETH. And then these people were like, well, you know what? You sold it for 3. I'm gonna go ahead and sell it for 10.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how the NFT space works. It's the value is based on what someone else thinks the value is based on. For me, like I said, I would be this person right here. Like, well, is 10 ETH enough? That's really what I'd be like. Is 10 ETH really enough? Because remember, it's a one of one from this particular artist.
That's right.
And so knowing the artist that you're buying a piece from is going to be so important. I mean, I can't even tell you how important that it's like. If sometimes if you get like a one of one piece, depending on the artist, you can just sit back and like, you know what? I'm just going to wait on that retirement check to come in. That's what you can literally say.
Please know if you have the one of one piece.
Oh, yes. We had an incident right there. So we can talk about that. So yeah, we were, because like I said, and everybody knows that my sisters, we're all involved with the NFT space. So we were literally sitting on the phone. We're trying to strategize like, hey, you know what? Let's go and let's maybe sell one of the, because I told my sister, like I said, we convinced them to get in. So we're like, well, listen, why don't you guys team up and we're going to go ahead and you guys could sell one of your mica pieces. You guys just go ahead and take the money off the mica piece and, you're going to be fine. You guys will have your money. All you'll be full throttle. You've made some money. You got profits going in. Yeah. So one of my other sisters was sitting there on the call and we were sitting there talking. She's like, well, yeah, I think my piece says it's like number 1. And we was like, hold it. We said, hold it. Send us a screenshot in the family chat.
Yeah, we need to see it.
Family chat. We need to see this. Because if you know my sister, you'd be like, nah, she's like in crypto, but she kind of like not like NFT. She's in NFTs. I shouldn't say that because she got some very good NFTs. She did follow the lead, but she was like, no, I think I got the one-on-one. We like, no, you ain't got the one-on-one picture. I promise you. No, it's not even possible that you got the mica one-on-one picture.
Well, not the one-on-one, but the first series, the first number 1. Yes,
the first number 1 of the series
of the collection. That's right.
Of the collection. And she's like, so she's sending the family picture. We're like, well, wait a minute. Everything, all deals are off. We're like, listen, I like told my other sister, I'm like, sis, I'm so sorry, but you just lost at least $50,000, but we can't let her sell this piece right now.
Exactly. Let it go. It's
We're like,
art.
deal is off the table. I like told my other sister, I was like, listen, okay, you have an awesome piece of art that you don't even know what you have. I said, just swap. We can swap out pictures if you want. If you just don't feel comfortable having number one piece, we can swap them different times. But I
That
wouldn't
is
do it like
right.
that. But we literally were getting ready to sell some of her art pieces so that they could take profits and then still be in partnership so that they didn't have to get rid of all of their stuff. Literally, she has the number one picture of one of Micah's art pieces. And we was like, okay, sis, this is just, I'm sorry, but this is going to have to stay in the family. This can never like be sold right now unless you get the right money. But it's literally, it can happen that fast. And because like I said, when you're on Nifty Gateway, everything is random now. They don't just not which order you buy your piece of art. It's like everything's random. We're like, I don't know how you end up with the number one piece and you've had it in your wallet like 3 or 4 months and you never told any of us. I'm like, I teach about NFT. This don't make me look good right now. I'm like, what? How do you not tell me you got the number one piece? That's like the basic thing I taught you when you first started. She's like, well, I just didn't know. I was just excited. So again, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to go on that rant, huh, Jessica?
Yeah, because we don't want to go to the Jeff Staples shoe. We don't want to add
Oh
about
yeah,
the Jeff Staples shoe that they didn't know they had and didn't forge.
very very good
We'll talk
point.
about that another time.
So I know we're gonna talk. We're gonna show them. Let's show them. Let's show you. Let me show you what she
They
found us.
realized they had the Staples shoe. They did listen when we tell them to get in something. They got in, and there were plenty of projects we could not get in ourselves, but the people we did recommend it to
Mm-hmm.
definitely are winning.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if she didn't know she had it,
She didn't know she had this shoe. She didn't know she had this shoe. The same sister. I ain't gonna tell y'all which one of my sisters because y'all
okay,
might know.
we're gonna have
Everybody
to
know my sisters in the group, so I'm not gonna tell you which one of my sisters. But we were so mad because listen, I tried to buy 5 of these shoes. It was
yes,
$500, and my transactions went out of my bank account and
yeah,
said it went out
thought
five
we got
times.
them.
And then this is again when y'all had to let me vent. I'm sorry, I'm venting right now. But I have 5 of these shoes and they
Get
reversed
one.
all of my transactions
Same for
on
me.
5 of these shoes. So this is why I'm really mad. But and I had the pigeons. I had five
Sorry for that.
pigeons. Same scenario. But I'm gonna show you why I'm really devastated. Cause I even had one of these pair of shoes. I was on a spending spree. I was gonna buy like $5,000 worth of shoes that day. But this is why. So 5 of these pair of shoes. Look at the price of what they're selling for. $28,000 for the
38,000.
$500 pair of shoes. And I have 5 that they reversed my charges on. So if y'all ever hear me, who is it?
I only had
If
shoes.
you
I
hear
had
me, I
that.
had your shoes, man. If somebody want to send something to my wallet, I'd be
I'm
grateful.
telling you, that's
No, but
horrible.
literally, that's what happened on this one. So, but we found out. She was like, "Well, I think what she said. I think I got an email that said I think I got something." And we were like, "No, go check your email." We're like, "You didn't get one." I said, "We all thought we got one, and it
Yeah.
just turned us that they reversed our money."
Eh,
She literally showed us her wallet, and I said, "You really got that?"
yeah.
She really got the shoes.
She
So
had to
again,
log into
she
the
didn't know she
site.
had
Yeah.
the number one. She didn't know she had these shoes. Go figure that one. Okay, but anyway, so again, these are again as far as when we're talking about these different shoes. I know I went on a totally different rant, but I'm sorry I had to share the shoe story with the family story of how it happens to some people too. But again, so let me keep moving. All right, because I know we are moving. We'll talk about the Afrodroids. Penelope's. Okay, the cats. Okay, if you guys are still invested in the cats, these are still doing very well. Be on the lookout
Oh,
for the cats, for the airdrops. Just because there has airdrops, right?
their airdrop is coming, and the people also have to remember this is a deflationary NFT. So because we can go over and we participate in the profile picture and everything process in the community, but because you can go over and and turn your cat into a token, all the other cats that lowers the mint count. So all the other cats that are on the market become more scarce. So remember that this NFT is deflationary. So over time, the more cats that are burnt off, the more that are still out there are more valuable. So I really do like this NFT project. I haven't seen too many that are deflationary like that. And so if you do have it, remember that over time that your cats become more scarce the more people that burn for the Penelope token.
Good stuff. Okay. So keep an eye on this, and remember, even at the point 3, remember Ethereum kind of have taken a dip down, so these were a little bit higher. I think they're like $1,200 or $1,300 the last call. So remember, it's going to fluctuate up and down with the Ethereum, but they still are holding at point 0.3. And be on the lookout for your airdrop. Okay. This is the one I think we were on a call yesterday, and I was telling Jamar, talking to him about this one too. This particular airdrop, I think this particular airdrop came out if you own the Ferocious shoe, and I think at the same time when you minted the shoes, you also had to have the Ferocious drip, and if you had those two items, you ended up getting this airdrop into your wallet. So again, and I keep talking about airdrops and the benefits of holding some of these projects. When you start looking at airdrops and you're getting airdrops for 6.75 Ethereum, $23,000, $25,000, those airdrops add up. Sell your airdrops if you need to sell your airdrops, and keep your other items so that when they send you your next airdrop, you know that's that's how you can keep maneuvering out of the NFT space, whatever, without ever having to really sell your full asset of what you really have. Okay. So again, so just a recap, if you had the Ferocious shoes that you minted with RFTK or RTFK, if you mint the shoes with the drip, then this was a bonus item that you received from Ferocious for that drop. Okay. All right. So again, so this would have been the shoes. Whether you had any of these shoes, and then this drop, this drip. Remember, the shoes, when the shoes did come out, they were not. I'm not gonna say they were cheap. They was like $3,000. These were 3,000. I think these were 5,000, and then they have another shoe that was $10,000. So I'm not saying that the NFT space is very cheap at all, but it sometimes it still can pay you back very good. So again, if you pay 3,000 for this, and when these dropped, these were 1,500. And I think us in the group, when I shared with some of you guys as far as buying these, you had an opportunity to buy these at $1,000 and $1,500. So these bad boys now are 8.5. This is the low. Actually, sorry, y'all don't believe me. Let me go to buy now. Let's see what the floor is at in case it changes. Okay, the floor on the drips right now is 8.5, meaning if you bought them when I told you at $1,500 or $1,000, they are at $28,000.
That's it.
That is a floor on the Fero drip, and we're talking about less than. Was that a month, month and a half ago?
May. May.
When we talked about that. Okay, so again, this is how fast some of the things can continue to go. Remember, you're going to probably continue to get things from Ferocious also, and our RTFK. This particular thing also is one of the ones where you'll be able to go on and you get, it's a 10 years, Jessica. Let me
Yes,
just
for
talk
10
about
years. It is a 10-year drip.
10-year drip. So let me just
Yeah.
talk about these other drips. So these are other drips. Some of you guys may even have these drips. So Jessica, I'll let you talk about the 10-year drip off of this one here.
Oh yeah, so these are going to be specific to certain artists, as you can tell. Right next to it, but maybe Lupify, XNO. There's a lot of different people, Arnia's Kiss, and so forth. So these have a 10-year, basically forging event. You'll go to Artifact's website and you'll be able to forge with this. With this one specifically, they're going to have the shoes. So over time, because 10 years is a long time, they're building out. You don't really know what you're going to get. Right now, you know you're going to be able to get the shoes. It's going to give you access to their avatars, which you're going to be able to also sell those avatars. So owning this drip, I believe, gets you is between 1 to 3 avatars that you are able to purchase from the Artifact website. So just keep in mind when these things are, when they have a 10-year lifetime, like, access pass to it, and you get to grow with these artists. This is the first drip of their kind. This one's 1.2 because they had a different drip that they started before. And so I think in total it's no more than 800 in the drips. They are 2 different categories, so you can check that out. Some of them, as you can tell in that picture, it's just a round tube here. So it should still tell you though. Oh, this one did not. Sometimes under the capsule, it will tell you who the artist is. But since you do not know whose capsule this is, if you do want a specific artist, it's better to just come over to one of the ones that are actually exposed, that they show here. And so, so keep in mind, these are 10 years forging events. For over the next 10 years, they may say, you come to this site, you come have this in your wallet, you're going to be able to pay for, or you're going to be entitled to these 3 to 5 projects that we have. Anything we build out on Artifact, you will be able to purchase 1 to 3 of these items. And Artifact, I believe, is going to be one of the best NFT out there, no matter what they're building out, who they have. Like I said, they have Ferocious as part of their the website as well. So she's part of the group. All these artists here, Ben Mario, Corey. Corey just did a good thing with he did a Mike Tyson drip. I mean Mike Tyson NFT drop. So if you know the artist, then you're able to come over here and select them, and you can grow with that artist. Some of them are well established, and some of them are actually maybe a little younger, and so you'll have time to grow with them. But they're all pretty good artists. So you can come over here, see which one you do like. Go to Twitter or something, look at the artist. Go to Google, look at the artist, and see if you want to invest in that specific artist. See, as you Corey, since he did a Mike Tyson drop, his lowest one, his offer is 5 ETH, but as you said, no one wants to take less than 15 on that one currently, it looks like.
That's cheap. That's the cheapest one. That's the cheapest one there.
So yes, so
Good stuff.
you can still come over here and pick those up on OpenSea. They are up there, but
They up
they did not start like that. They were $700 when we gave advice to purchase them. They're $700 or $1,500 is the most I would say. So they have now turned into just what I think that's a $20,000 or $30,000 floor price. What is that? 7.8.
Yeah, 7.8 is 30.
28,000. 20. Yep. So
And I'm going to just tell on myself because I got cold feet yesterday because I have a couple of these ferocious drips, and I literally had put one of mine up for sale because I had a couple of them, and it was like it got close to my number and I took it off. I was like,
got
and
scared, anxiety.
I was like, what? I was like, they really gonna pay for this? I was like, I can't sell it right. I can't sell it. And then my mom was like, Mom, are you crazy right now? I was like, yeah. I was like, but and then Majesty and Jessica convinced me, like, you got 10 years to have this particular thing. I was like, you know what? Let me go find something else in the wallet to sell.
Yeah.
So I literally took it off. But mine was next in line to buy. And I was like, nah, that's still not for what's coming up, because again, I think when you just mentioned as far as being able to get the avatars and so forth, I think each one of the ferocious drips is going to entitle you to so many of those things that RTFK have coming out for the avatar thing. So I think those are going to be valuable. So will I sell it after that? We'll see. we'll see. I don't think so, but we'll see. But again, I think that's important as far as, it's definitely important, when you are buying NFTs, because sometimes I can really get attached to some of my NFTs. I really can. I admit you need to buy two items. You need to buy two of whatever you're buying because it does make it a lot easier to sell. Like when we looked at the Degen Apes and stuff, I was like, okay, it might be better to go ahead and try to get two of those. If I can get two of those, at least I can like let one of them go. But like, okay, I made all my money back and I know I got profits from this. The other one I can let ride for whenever I want to sell it. But it's gonna be important again, like I said, is that if that's one tip that I could give you today is buy two items. Buy two items.
Yes.
Of stuff that you're buying. Now, if they're expensive items, I get it. You can't buy two items. But if you're buying and you're able to buy things on the drops and stuff, then definitely buy those two things. Okay. Uh, okay. So the space strips. Okay. So talk about the space strips. All right, good stuff. Okay. I think Jessica, anything else you have on your side?
Oh yeah, so there are different drips. I just want to add, maybe I can understand that question. There are the Faro drips, and then there are the space drips. They are two different drips. They will give you access to artifacts avatars, but there is the space drip, and then there's a Faro drip.
Oh, like so you're talking about the way these look, and then the ferocious drip.
Yeah, they're two different
Yes.
drips. Yes.
Because this one dropped on Nifty Gateway. This one was on Nifty Gateway. RTFK still dropped it on Nifty Gateway, but it was from that. And I don't know if we're talking about the capsules. Maybe the capsules, it may be something that's throwing people off too. I know the capsules look different, but this is what all the drips came in until they were revealed or you revealed them. That's so these right here. So all of these items here were this item at one point. Okay, all of these items were that. Okay. Okay, I know some of y'all trying to get this drop that's happening right now. I'm not gonna mention it right now because we are like live. So if some of y'all, I hope some of y'all got the drop that's happening now. Uh, y'all let me know if y'all got some extras. So, but I know it's gonna be gas wars. So just a couple things as far as gas wars are concerned. I know gas wars are going like super super high right now. If you're trying to buy some of these special NFT projects that are dropping, you're looking at right now probably paying $1,000 to $1,200 possibly for gas. That's just the gas fee, because there's just such a demand on some of the items that we're looking at trying to get. And since I think that drop has actually happened, and I didn't want to do, let me just talk about it now because it has officially happened. So let's go to OpenSea real quick. Um, then we'll get off of here. Right. So this is one of the drops I think that probably just happened. These bad boys came out and they have probably all right. So this one right here. So if you've picked up some of these are still moving up very very high. So it may be one of those scenarios where it might be just a little too late. Okay. Alrighty, that is all I have, Jessica. Anything else that you have on your side, or any other questions that we might have missed? I'm trying to read this chat. Deb, I will say one thing. As far as for the new people, please remember, like if you have family members who are looking to get involved in the NFT space, please feel free to send them to our Facebook. What's NFTs? That's with an S. What's NFTs with an S.com. That will take them directly to our Facebook page. And like I said, any family members, we're just trying to get them started so that we can get them to the bigger groups, so we can get them to the bigger places to where they can start making money trading crypto and doing things like that. So we want to at least get them started somewhere so that they can start saying that you're not this crazy person that's buying these crazy items. They need to really see what you're doing.
You're buying gifts.
What's that?
Yeah, a lot of people just call them pictures. They don't know the utility or the community or anything behind them. So yes.
Yep. So, okay. So once again, I really appreciate you guys hopping on today. Remember, we'll be on again this evening at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So feel free to share our link, what'snft.com. It is a free group. Send anyone there you'd like or any family members you may have that would like to learn more about the NFT space. All right. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And then we will see you all at 6 o'clock. You guys have a good one.